What's going on, YouTube? Pistol Pete here. Like I told you in the last video, today I'm going to be doing a little bit of a hard use review on this CRKT BT fighter. So I love the look of this knife. I freaking love it. It's freaking badass. And I think this is Oz 10A steel here with that. I'm not a fan of that. They call it, was a stonewash finish. I prefer to have it be a satin finish or a polished finish, but I get the reasons for it. I just don't. To me, it looks like sheet metal. It makes the knife look cheaper, but it is what it is, right? A lot of people do love it, so I'm just not one of them. I did a review on this already, a full review going over all the specs of the blade and everything, and length and materials and things like that. But I just want to give you a quick recap of it. But today I want to test, the main thing I want to test out, and I don't see, I see a lot of people show knives like these, and they'll show them off and do the tabletop review just like I did in the past, but I haven't seen too many people actually put the button lock to the test. So I want to see, just out of curiosity, can this hold up to, throwing it, stabbing it into the log, maybe even some light batoning, and see how the button holds up or if anything breaks on it. And before I get into the test though, I just want to say too though, this knife is badass. So whether it holds up or not, this knife is freaking badass. I love the look of it, and I've had this for, I don't even know, I probably was 8 months ago when I got this and I did the review. So I've had it for almost a year, a little under a year. Action's still freaking great. Everything's still tight. I love it. It holds up great. And for everyday use, this is absolutely perfect. Cutting boxes, even cutting fruit, whatever you want to, even carving, all that stuff. It's gonna hold up. You won't have any issues with this. Action's still smooth as ever. Everything's still tight. It's just awesome knife. It has that little ball bearing for the clip. This goes into my daily carry a lot. I really do love this. And if I, by any chance, break this knife doing these tests, I'm gonna get another one. That's how good it is. So this is just for me, just curiosity, because obviously, yes, I'm going to be doing stuff with this knife that won't be doing typically on a daily basis. It's not going to be, this is an EDC, right? So I know this isn't meant for chopping. I know this isn't meant for throwing. I know this isn't meant for batoning. I know. So just let you guys know, that leave the dumb comments. This is strictly just out of curiosity to see how the button lock holds up and to see how this locking mechanism, how strong it really is. It seems to have really good lockup. So let's test it out. Go from there. Wax at this door here. And see how everything holds up, if anything comes loose. As you see, I'm gonna put my hands like this. So in case it does fold, I'm not gonna chop my fingers off. Be careful, I got this dog here, it's like a baby. Always in the way of shit. So far, so good. I don't feel anything coming loose at all. So everything seems to be tight here. Let's give it a try again. Let's check out the mechanism. It's coming a little loose. It's a little loose now, I see. Yeah, it is coming a little loose. Point of view, hacking with it. And again, like I said, we all know that it's not meant for this, but if you had to do it, would it do it? Would the blades break on you and fold? Or can you chop a piece of wood? Holding up just fine. Okay, so it's opening and closing. It's staying open, but listen, it is getting a little loose. I notice the blade is getting loose, but it's locking in position and it's not closing. If I try to bang on it, let's do it. Hard to wax, but it is, I can feel it. It is a little loose. Closed, it doesn't make noise, but open, a little bit of a rattle. Maybe that might even be the button though, the plunger. I'm not too sure, but nothing's coming loose. Let's see here. Since I have it here. It's an awesome carver. If you're using the knife for what it's meant for, which these are like EDC, right? Everyday carries, and not really meant for doing this chopping crap, and I'm gonna be throwing it and stuff. But if you use it what it's for, that thing, it's sharp, man, and it does does good work. Let's do a Donnie B all day drop test and throw it at the stump test. So about 4 foot up. Yeah, that drops pretty good. Try it again. Yeah, sticking good. Okay, now let's gonna be the test to see if the lock holds up. I'm gonna throw it at the stump pretty hard here. Oh yeah, just didn't close on me. Stuck in pretty deep. Yeah, check that out. In there pretty deep, and the mechanism is holding up. So the button lock, let's see if still works good. Still locking in. Yep, a little bit of a rattle like I said, but everything is holding up fine. Light batoning here. See how the mechanism holds up. I'm gonna do some cross batoning here with the stick and see if anything comes loose or breaks on it. Biting in deep, biting in deep. Boom. Pretty clean cut there. All right, let's do a long one now. See how it holds up. Not too shabby. Let's try that again. Not too bad. Let's check out that mechanism. Button lock is holding up pretty good. Still that rattle, but when it's closed, nothing. So I might just be the button again when it opens. Nice. All right, let's give it a couple throws at the log and see how it holds up. Boom. Nice and deep. Holding up, not closing on it. I thought for sure I would see a couple hits and closes, you know, button lock giving out, but let's try that again. Oh, popped all the way back here. Hit the log, hit it sideways. Hit sideways, popped back, and still working though. So that's a testament to it holding up. Let's see here. Let's try it again. That rattle, I don't know what the hell's coming from, but there we go. Boom. Thing loose, nope. Alrighty. Yeah. And the blade itself holds up great because I've used this a lot already for cutting different types of material, and man, the edge holds good and it sharpens real easy. Awesome. So not bad. Let's do a little bit of stabbing and prying. Yeah, you know, man, I'm sticking it in there pretty deep, and check out that tip. Nope, no bending, no issues at all with the tip. Looking good, like brand new. Let's check out that lock. Staying in there. Yeah, I think it's just that little spring inside the plunger of the button lock that's causing that noise, but it's definitely holding up. Let's try it again with this. Let's just see. Man, it's pretty tough. I just want to cut this material. It's not going to really show anything about the lock, but I would like to still just see how easy this cuts. Oh yeah. Yeah, this thing's still pretty sharp. Look at that. Oh yeah. Easy peasy. Okay. That concludes my little demonstration here on the BT Fighter CRKT badass. I have to say it's bad freaking ass. I mean, again, the stuff I'm doing is just for entertainment purposes. Obviously, you're not going to be doing that with this type of knife. But I was just curious more than anything to see how these button locks, especially for this brand. I mean, I know there's all different types of button locks, and I guarantee they're not all created equal. You're gonna have some cheapy ones that probably will bust open, but for this brand, man, they freaking did a pretty good job. You saw I batoned, I chopped it, everything, and this is after carrying this for 6 months and doing normal box cutting and the stuff you're supposed to do with it. You know, using it for everything, cutting rope and opening bales of hay, all that type of stuff. You know, all that kind of stuff you would use it for. It works absolutely phenomenally. And then for this stuff that you're not really supposed to be using it, throwing it and batoning and chopping with it, it still held up really well. And then side to side, there's almost like no play at all. Side to side, very little. Up and down, there's play. You can see that there's little play up and down. That may be because of that lock bar. Let me see if you can see that. There's a lock bar in there, and it maybe not seated all the way down. There's a little bit, but even when I first bought it, there's a little bit of play. So, you know, I'm not sure, you know, what to take of that. I guess maybe it's a little bit off, maybe a little tighter. I don't know if you could tighten anything in there. But I mean, as you saw, it held up even with whacking the spine, and to me, it's no big issue. And what's cool about this, it even has this little, you know, for the flipper tab, when it comes to the other side here, it creates a little bit of a barrier, a little safety as well. You don't have to worry about this folding in your hand if you get a full purchase of this and use it, you know, however you're going to use it to cut anything. If you're going to cut rope, you just put your hands like that. But I mean, if you're going to make a full grip to stab something or to use any kind of a piercing, you got protection for this coming to blocking it from folding down on your fingers. So even that's awesome. And look at the edge, absolutely flawless. This thing is still freaking sharp as hell. I mean, real sharp. Point, you know, stabbing and prying and throwing, and nothing wrong with the point. I even hit and missed, hit the concrete. Nothing's wrong with the plastic, or I would call it Grivex, you know, fancy plastic handles here. Guys, I would have to give my stamp of approval for this one, man. This one's badass. Would recommend this, definitely. For a fidget knife, for just the look of it, the badass look of the knife, I'm okay with a little bit of wobble. I'm okay with a little bit of wobble. You know, especially for all the crap I did with it and carrying it for 8 months, it's not gonna bother me any. And I think that rattle, that's what you hear, that rattle, I think that's what it is. It's gonna be the blade with that little bit of play in the blade. But yeah, and I think that I'm looking at here, yeah, it looks like it's on the lock bar a little bit. It's causing that little bit of play, but I don't see this being a problem though. You saw what I did with it. Sturdy as hell. So, all right, YouTube, please like, subscribe, and until next knife, gun, or whatever.